Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you today. I am sitting here patiently awaiting the Finn Balor return for WWE's Monday Night Raw tonight. Tonight is the rumor night of his return, and I am fucking pumped for it. I had the day off. I'm honestly going to be watching the Kings game a little bit later, and then hopefully doing the countdown for Monday Night Raw. Just trying to see Finn and see where he fits into the WrestleMania 33 for this year. One of my favorite guys. Another guy, or another guys, I guess you can say, that people were waiting for them to make their return to WWE was the Hardy Boys. The Hardys showed up in their, I guess you can say, deleted gimmicks from TNA to Ring of Honor this weekend at a New York City, I think it was a house show. I don't think I heard anything about it being a television taping. I don't think I heard anything about it being, a pay-per-view. But I did see through Facebook that like my buddy Brandon was at the show, and a few other people that I've known through WrestleMania trips and things like that. But the Hardys showed up after a Young Bucks match. They had already wrestled for, I believe, a 15-minute match. I'll tell you the truth, I didn't see the first match. But the Hardys, showed up with the lights out. I honestly thought that they were just going to be hyping up the upcoming WrestleMania match, where it's going to be the Hardys versus the Bucks at the ROH show down there. And I thought that they were just going to hype it up and just sort of have a face-off, with this being the first time that they could sort of be the first place at the same time in ROH, even though ROH is housing this match. I mean, they had the drone come down and they've had other things, but they actually haven't been able to have Matt and Jeff stand there. But instead, they were challenged to a match right there on the spot. The Young Bucks took it, and the Hardys won the titles. The Hardys are the new ROH champions. Since then, Matt has come out and said that they have signed the most lucrative contract in ROH history, and now the debate is out there within wrestling fans whether that means that it's going to be a year-long deal or a two-year-long deal, where the Hardys are going to be wrestling in Ring of Honor and they're not going back to WWE. I will tell you that honestly, the only insight I have to this is from listening to the Observer, and I'll tell you the truth. Even Brian and Dave on the show this morning, I guess it was last night after Fastlane, they don't even really know what's going on. But for being a fan, I can give you that. What my prediction is that I think that Matt and Jeff might have signed the most lucrative contract in our ROH history, but my guess is this is just going to be like a month-long deal. Where they're going to be doing some shows for Ring of Honor. It's going to keep their names out there, in the mainstream. And I think that they're going to still be coming back to WWE. I still think that they're going to be the big surprise for the Raw after WrestleMania, where they'll go back to WrestleMania. They'll go after the New Day. They'll go after, Guns and Gallows. I wouldn't be surprised if they're on a part of Monday Night Raw and they are in the tag team division. The whole thing of Bully Ray going back, I guess he's never been there. So Bully Ray signing with ROH, or at least being at the show, that to me honestly was a real big surprise. It would have been a real easy comfort for him to go right back to TNA. They would have treated him like a huge star. As you can see from the last set of Impact tapings, Magnus is back, Matt Morgan is back. This company, TNA, is honestly really reaching, and they probably are really on a real tight budget. Jeff Jarrett, is in contacts with Spike Television, people say. Maybe he can get, that Spike TV deal back, and maybe he can start pushing to start getting that budget a little bit bigger for that company. Because as of right now, they're letting everyone go. And the people that they're bringing back, although, I've always wondered what the hell happened to Magnus. Hearing that Magnus is going to be showing up, for Impact, isn't really making me, go to my, channel listings and find out, what channel, Pop TV is on. It took me a minute to even remember they're not on that other Destination America anymore. It's funny. for the Hardys to go back to ROH. I can remember Jeff Hardy doing an ROH show back in the day, and basically he was booed so bad out of the building that he almost basically threw a temper tantrum. If I remember right, I think he walked out on the match. But when Matt went to ROH, of course, it was after the time he had been released by WWE during the whole Edge and Lita deal, and the place ate him up, and they loved him. They wanted him to be one of their own. Of course, he went back. I think he did 3 shows. The one big one was the match with him against Christopher Daniels, and I think he lost that match. But it was a great way to show, what ROH was. You remember him yelling out, "I'll be wrestling for Ring of Honor" on Monday Night Raw. And that was probably like the best commercial that they had ever had. And people thought that Ring of Honor and WWE were working hand in hand at the time. And here we are now, I guess 12 years later. You can tell that they're still not working together. And WWE is doing everything they can to take everything from them. But they still find a way to keep plugging through. Every time people take names from Ring of Honor, whether if it's Daniel Bryan, whether if it's Kevin Owens, every time, the big name gets pulled out of there, people are saying, well, this is it. They're not going to be able to go on. And they still continue to find a way to drive on and find the next, star of tomorrow, like Adam Cole, who's probably going to be leaving sooner than later, I think, too. But I still think the Hardys are coming to WWE. I think that this is just a pit stop on the road for them to make some money. They definitely know that match against the Bucks is going to be big, and it's probably going to be one of the big things that people are talking about for WrestleMania weekend. I know that, I'm not going to Orlando, and the one thing that I heard about the ROH show is how far it was away from Orlando. I think it's a 30-minute drive, but for Ring of Honor to offer buses to people that bought tickets to help get people there, shows that they really want to do, make some money that weekend. And I think that ROH always puts on a show that's always remembered. And did we go to the Ring of Honor show last year? I don't think we went to Ring of Honor in Dallas, and I don't know why. I can remember going to New Orleans. I definitely remember going in the San Jose show, where we were really bummed that we didn't get to go to NXT, but we still got a really good show. 29, 28. 28, we had fucking, awesome shows. 28, the second show, I was kind of tired, falling asleep, but the matches were really good. So you always get your money's worth going to Ring of Honor, even if you really don't know what's going on and you don't follow them. You like wrestling, you're going to get some fucking awesome wrestling that weekend. So that's about it. I got to get down the road. Peace out, everybody.